Data freedom is more important than ever, and this is something we're taking very seriously here at Veeam. In fact, we look at customer and partner conversations every day. They're asking us, how can we move here? Or what toolkits do we need to go to a new platform? Which brings me to a good question. What are you looking at? Let's answer this poll. We want to know, what are you thinking about when it comes to moving workloads? Are you thinking about moving to a new platform? Are you staying where you are? Maybe rebalancing if you are a multi-hypervisor platform? Let us know in the poll. This is something that we're working on, both in our products, but we also want to know how to bring different messages and capabilities to everyone. All right, let's take a look at one of the coolest things that have come out this year, and that's our Proxmox support. So Proxmox is Veeam's 6th hypervisor that we support. And at VeeamON in June, we announced that this was coming. It's fully available now. I want to show you how this can be used to move workloads in a data freedom type of world. So I have a system right here. Let's just take this individual one. This system, I'm going to call it Migration 07. I'm going to take this system by itself, but I also, by the way, could take all 10 of them at once if I wanted to. But I'm going to take just one. Let's take number 7. And I'm going to, first of all, show you the options that we have from Data Freedom. Right now available, we could instantly recover an image-based workload to VMware or Hyper-V. We also have the ability to convert it to the public cloud. We could take this instance right away to AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud. And then we also, the newest capabilities, we can restore this to both Nutanix and Proxmox. I'm going to go to Proxmox. That's the newest hypervisor. Let me show you how easy this is. Now I'm going to take this very single image-based backup of a virtual machine. This was born on a different hypervisor, but today it's going to end its day on Proxmox. So I have one option right away. If I'm restoring to Proxmox, it knows that it didn't come from Proxmox, so it takes away that first option. I'm going to select which host. In my environment, I only have one, so I'm going to select it. Makes it easy. And then secondly, I'm going to select which storage resource this will go to on the host. And I have one local storage, but again, if you have a full cluster, shared storage, all of that would be displayed as well. You can also change different disk types for the virtual machine you're converting. The next option you could do is give this system a name. Now I'm going to leave the name the same, or I could give it a different name. Now I also want to select what network this goes on to. So I'm going to browse the networks. I only have one bridge network on this Proxmox host. I'm going to go ahead and select that. If you've ever done an instant recovery, you're going to feel that these options are really familiar. I'm going to give a quick reason for the restore. Just a good idea, by the way, put in a ticket number if you have a help desk operation, that type of thing. And we're going to go ahead and launch that restore, just like that. It's really easy to do a recovery to Proxmox. Data freedom is that easy. Now, when I do that, I want to also highlight there are a couple of other things that are making this quite easy for me. I want to go over to the backup infrastructure and show you the proxies. Proxies, as you may know, are data movers. They connect compute and storage resources to do the backup jobs on Veeam Backup and Replication's behalf. There's a new type of worker in here, loosely equivalent to a proxy. It's called a Proxmox VE worker. They're in there just with the other proxies, and when you add one, you have a new option here. So that's part of adding a host, just so you know. And then the last part is making sure that I'm backing that up. So I have here 2 different backup jobs for Proxmox VE, and those virtual machines that are already on Proxmox are already being backed up. Many of the same options you know from Veeam for an image-based backup, really easy to use in that regard. So that's part of the story. But when I do a backup, I have to also know what's going on. So now I'd like to ask Kirsten, one of our technologists here at Veeam, to show us what does this look like with Veeam One to monitor these backups.
Well, Rick, it looks pretty nice. That's what I have to say. Well, first, it's important to monitor our backup infrastructure. This is to make sure that we're meeting compliance, hitting our recovery point objectives, and fixing any issues in real time. To monitor our backup infrastructure, we want to make sure that we open up our Veeam One client. As you can see in my environment, I have multiple backup servers added into Veeam One. If I switch into the data protection view, I can see all of the backup jobs that are running into my environment. Now the key here is really to go to this filters option, and you can filter out by job type, but also by platform. So you can see here we have multiple platforms supported, including Nutanix AHV, KVM environments, and Proxmox VE. So I'm just going to select, I'm going to clear all these, and I'm going to select Proxmox VE, and I can easily see all my data protection jobs that are running and protecting those workloads, when they were last run, how long they took, and if they were successful or not. What's great about Veeam One is it has a lot of different alarms included within the product that are going to alert you of any issues that are happening in your backup environment. And these alarms have been enhanced to support these new hypervisors that we are supporting within Veeam Backup and Replication. Now, before I go, I really want to show you the Veeam One web client. Now, this view should look familiar to all of you. This is the Veeam Threat Center, and this provides an overall view of what's happening in your environment, making sure that your recovery points are recoverable and that you're backing up all your machines. This has been enhanced to also support these workloads as well, Proxmox and KVM environments. So they will be included in that data platform scorecard. We've added a report here as well to help you monitor your backup jobs. And this is really the Veeam Backup for KVM report, Protected VMs report. Now, this report is going to let you know if any of your machines that you're backing up are not meeting your recovery point objectives. So if I click on here, you have a little bit of some more options available to you, whether you want to specify per backup server or you want to maybe specify per backup job type, and you can also set your recovery point objective. Now, I've already run this report, and as you can see here, I can easily identify if my workloads are being protected and what has not been protected. If I drill down further into this report, I can see the machine's name, the location of that machine, how many restore points are available, and the last backup date. I can also identify any machines that are not being protected and not meeting my recovery point objectives. So I can go back into Veeam Backup and Replication, reconfigure my jobs, and make sure that I'm protecting all of my workloads. But that's not the only report that's available for these new hypervisors. You can also see these backup jobs within the latest job status report, workload protection history, and the immutability report, plus many, many more. So this is really a great way to get started in monitoring your backup environment, whether you're running on Microsoft Hyper-V, VMware vSphere, Proxmox, Nutanix, or KVM. Veeam One can monitor all your data protection jobs.
That's fantastic, Kirsten. When I look at what Veeam One has done in the last few years with this broad set of capabilities monitoring new workloads, like I said, we're up to 6 hypervisors. This is the difference, to know what's backed up, know different levels of information, and stay tuned because we have a whole bunch of really cool things also in Veeam One that Kirsten's going to share later on in the stream. But I would be remiss if we didn't talk about orchestration, and that is really that next level set of capabilities that can help you drive compliance in your organization. And now I want to turn it over to Field CTO Emily Tejas to show us how the orchestrator is also a very important part of this solution.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Rick. So one things that I always speak to customers about is, hey, how do we document and how do we validate that our recovery plans are actually going to work, right? We have plans to move to a new platform. Maybe we have a cloud migration strategy, but we want to ensure that what we're going to move from a workload perspective is actually going to work. And that's the beauty of Veeam Recovery Orchestrator. Not only are we able to validate the SLAs, we could see the recovery points and that they are available for us, but we can actually document that and run these different types of checks to ensure that our environment is going to be ready for us in order to make that migration or make the move. So here we are in the Veeam Recovery Orchestrator, and as you can see, a bundle of rich documentation here is available for us. So I have a plan that's been created to actually recover my workloads up into Microsoft Azure. So I've named this plan my Veeam On Data Resiliency Summit Cloud Plan, and you can see I've ran a readiness check report. Now, as part of this readiness check report, you see access to all the contents. You see the groups as far as my actual workloads that are going to be recovered up into my Microsoft Azure environment. On top of that, I can validate that the RPOs are meeting what has been set by my organization. And my other favorite part is this malware scan. So being able to actually validate and test that our malware scans are going to work and ensure that we don't have any bad or malicious recovery points that are going to be recovered into our new environment within Microsoft Azure. And a way that we could do that is actually in Veeam Recovery Orchestrator. So here inside of our administration side, we have our YARA rules tab. Now this tab is actually a way for us to implement in all of our different YARA rules that we want to have set. And here I could actually validate that this is going to be a YARA rule file that I want to have implemented. And this will go ahead and it will scan across those workloads that I have available within that recovery plan itself. Now customers can pick and choose which YARA rules that they want to have enabled in here, but the beauty is Veeam Recovery Orchestrator is going to be managing all of these. Now that's just not it from a security perspective. We also, in Veeam Backup and Replication, added in 2 new roles that are going to be available for security analysts. So the first role that I'm going to show you here is actually going to be our security administrator. So with the new security administrator role, users can come in and those security admins can either add, edit, or delete credentials records. They can also manage the security and compliance analyzer, as well as run a security check, either configuring that to scan and run on a schedule and exclude parameters. On top of that, they could also approve the 4eyes authorization request. The second operator role that we added in here is the incident API operator. Now this could just allow us to perform REST API requests to manage the malware detection events that Veeam Backup and Replication has access to. The incident API operator does not have access to the Veeam Backup console, therefore reducing any type of risk when it comes to gaining access into the system. Those are just a few of the new security enhancements that are available in the Veeam Data Platform. What did you think about that, Rick?
Oh, Emily, it's fantastic. There is nothing but innovation in the pipeline here today, and it's honestly hard to keep up.